Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Just like the 143,000 plus of you on Steam, we played the out of the server slam this past weekend, and being a big fan of Bungie, having played all the Halos and Destinies, I really expected to enjoy this game. However, my experience was lackluster and I was actually surprised to find out that I was having a terrible time.
It's kind of a bad time right now.
But wait, there's more. I don't consider myself a casual gamer. If you follow this channel, you know that most of my time playing games is filled with sweaty ranked games because I love competing and improving on my own gameplay. I share my experiences so we can learn and improve on the games we love to play together. This past weekend, I and my Discord friends all seemed to share the same gripes with Marathon, as it never felt rewarding to play, even with the faction buffs. Don't get me wrong, I love the amount of work the devs poured into this game. I believe they accomplished the game they set out to make, and I am stoked for them. And I truly mean that. To me, Marathon is as much of an art project as it is a first-person shooter, so I'm down for that. The artwork alone is a conversation starter, unless it plainly just creeps you out, but I love it. With all that being said, that's about as much as I enjoyed the game. So why couldn't I just put the game down and walk away? Why did I continue to torture myself and keep playing after constant failed attempts to extract? Bungie said over the course of the server slam, Perimeter had a successful exfil rate of 41.8% and Dire March 35.6%, but I must have been that player base on the other side of that coin because that was not my experience. I could barely play the game due to other players having better loot, better weapons, better armor, while I needed to keep relying on free kits to start a match. I once spent an hour in solo queue, dying in the first 3 to 5 minutes of the game every single match. And I watched so many other YouTubers explaining extraction shooters with audio cues, meta tactics, and so on, to which none of those suggestions improved my gameplay. And trust me, I listened and did what you asked, and I still fell short. The game just never felt balanced. And I understand more now that this is a survival game, and that's what Bungie intended on. However, I think they may have leaned too far into this. Perimeter is supposed to be your beginner-friendly map, and it feels more like a Destiny raid, but with mini-boss camps everywhere. I probably died more to AI than I did players. I'm not joking. That was actually super annoying. In fact, that might be one of our biggest gripes. A free kit going into Perimeter, even with Team of 3, shouldn't mean you're at a disadvantaged state against the map itself. But it was. I think Bungie did an amazing job with the AI and making it feel like real players. They aren't interrupted by closing doors. They will open the doors and hunt you down. The invisible UESC always scared the out of me because I thought it was an assassin on the other team. This actually might be a horror game disguised as an extraction shooter. And I kept torturing myself with this game because deep down, I wanted to improve. I wanted to learn the items, and I wanted to understand why this game was so frustratingly difficult for me. And I see now that this game is not for casual gamers because of its gigantic learning curve. I've heard other YouTubers claim this game is encroaching on Dota level memes with their game knowledge, meaning you need to sink in 100 or even thousands of hours just to feel like you've completed the tutorial. Sadly, after the server slam, I couldn't recommend this game to any of my friends in real life. I was hoping this was going to be the next game my friends and I could play together and bond over, but now I realize this game probably won't be that game for us. But huge pause. Step back. That doesn't mean this game isn't for you. Do not read thumbnails and titles of articles to summarize the complexity and intricacies of a video game, or anything for that matter. You gotta play and make your own judgments. So who is this game for then? Is it really for the sweatiest of sweaty players? No. If you already play and enjoy extraction shooters like Tarkov or that Burnt Peanut game, then you'll have some fun. This is a slow-paced hero tactical shooter. This may sound like I'm dogging on the game, but I'm not. I'm just frustrated at the entry-level expectations laid out for new players. I will buy Marathon for the $40 on March 5th because I really like what the game is, even with how difficult it seems. I'm the type of player that understands that live service games work with the community and improvements over time, and Bungie has the capacity, especially with this new title. If any devs are watching, keep doing what you're doing, as I believe my frustrations are mostly my own shortcomings. This is a new game for everyone to learn and shouldn't be treated as a game to completely reroute. But since this is a live service game and the devs do want feedback for improvements, here is what some of my friends and I think could help player retention, so I can finally tell my friends in real life they should give it a chance. First, we'd like to understand more about how many players are in each lobby when we get into a match. If that's listed somewhere, I couldn't find it. That intel alone would have helped us determine the risk moving around anywhere on the map. We were always assuming we'd end up in a PvP fight at any point of interest, so it was stay low, stay slow, almost the entire match because we didn't want to be caught off guard first. The devs may want to consider having certain maps include a mid-match signal spike, revealing nearby runners, or listing an updated player count. Also, question to any viewers, if you load in as a 3-stack, do you match up against solo queue players or only other 3-stacks? Because we debated back and forth on this so many times because we just weren't certain we were getting into fair fights. The second improvement for the devs is we think bots could drop more ammunition for the weapons you're using to keep you in the match longer. As I stated before, Perimeter is supposed to be the beginner-friendly map. That's in huge air quotes. It's supposed to help you progress in the game, but when we load in, most or all of our ammunition and shields are used up by the UESC bots well before we get into a single PvP fight. The match then becomes a game of hide and seek, looking for points of interest that still might contain some items for us just to maintain the loot we came into match with. Maybe an increase to the amount of space our backpacks start with could help alleviate some of this. Then I could put in some more bullets or some more shields or health revives, yada yada. Number 3. Another possible improvement my Discord friends mentioned was to buff the triage's passive ability to self-revive just once, especially in solo queue. You will die a lot in this game, and I too think this would be beneficial. The fourth improvement could be made to damage indicators during hit feedback. I know my weapons can be improved over time with mods, etc., but I'm never quite sure how much damage I'm actually doing to an opponent until maybe after I'm dead, and I'm still not sure the game shows me that. And I believe Destiny solved this with a numerical system that popped up on the screen by the enemy's head when they were damaged. When we get into a team fight, we aren't sure which enemies are healing up, still have their shields, or are on their way to the grave because of tick damage. Without more information on enemy health, we never know how long the fight is supposed to last. That alone has gotten me killed way more than anything in a PvP fight. How am I supposed to know if I'm going into an advantageous battle if I cannot gauge the health of the other player? I don't feel like this leads to balanced gameplay. It leads more to players monopolizing lobbies if they have insane gear. The fifth refinement for Marathon could include movement improvements. As an example, jumping into this game from other shooters is a bit jarring since there isn't any slide momentum chaining. This game does not need to feel like Splitgate or Apex Legends at all. Obviously, this is a new title on its own. But we're expected to believe the Destroyer gets all that momentum from his thruster ability, but as soon as it's used and you go to slide or run, to keep that momentum, the game's physics say, no, actually you're stuck in the mud now, and all that momentum you had was for nothing. It's just a little strange. The last feedback I could give, to which I believe Bungie has already acknowledged, are including duo queue matches in the future. Sometimes we don't have a third friend, and we don't want to match him with a random, but going in as a 2-stack versus a lobby of 3-player teams already puts us at a disadvantage level, and that's something we are not fond of feeling. So here's where I land. Marathon isn't a bad game, it's not broken, it certainly wasn't lazy, it's just a demanding game. It demands patience, it demands knowledge, and it demands your time. And maybe that's the point. This is supposed to be a game that Bungie wants to have for a long time. Maybe this isn't meant to be the next hop on with the boys and vibe shooter. Maybe it's meant to be punishing. Maybe it's meant to make you feel small before you feel powerful. But here's the question I keep coming back to. Does punishing equal rewarding? For some of you, absolutely. For others, probably not. For me, I'm still a bit undecided. Because as frustrated as I was, I still kept queuing up. I still wanted to crack the code, and I still wanted to win. And that tension right there, that's what Bungie got right. Thanks again for liking and subscribing. And if you played the server slam, I genuinely want to know, did you feel challenged or exhausted? Drop your experience below. If you agree, disagree, or think I'm completely off base, let's talk about it. And until next time, we'll see you in the arena.